It's Sunday, which means it's recap time here on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast. The theme this week was navigating the storm, strategies for weathering a stock market downturn. I talked about a lot of different things this week, but mainly discussing the fact that this recent market volatility that we had, where in early August, the Dow dropped over 1,000 points. We had a few days in there where it was pretty scary. Things were just circling the drain, but things have recovered since then. So this should be a wake-up call. The market is not going to go on a linear path straight up forever, despite what a lot of people out there seem to think and act accordingly. That's a mistake. Now, we don't know when the next recession will hit, but there is going to be a recession. And if you just look historically, most portfolios, even more conservatively invested ones, you could expect your portfolio to drop anywhere from 15, 20, 25%, depending on how you're invested. So you want to make sure that you are well positioned to weather any sort of a downturn whenever that may hit, especially if you are getting close to retirement. And I also talked about the fact that this year is an election year. You might have some additional volatility, but historically it's not that common actually. So we don't want to let the election, particularly if the person who gets elected is not who you want, we don't want that to distract us and cause us to make decisions with money in our long-term investment portfolio strategy that aren't going to be good in the long run. And then I talked about staying invested and strategies for doing that when it's really uncomfortable to do so, when your skin is crawling. That's usually after a sustained and meaningful downturn that lasts for a little while, maybe a few months. And then lastly, I talked about finding opportunities in stock market downturns. Times of crisis are when the best opportunities present themselves. So we need to have cash and we need to have some courage. And if you have both of those things, then you can usually find some good opportunities that will help you to have meaningful, strong portfolio gains and returns over the long run. All right, so I would say the most important takeaway from this week is that let this recent volatility be a wake-up call to look seriously at your portfolio. Make sure that you're positioned as you should be for your age and stage in life, particularly if you are close to or already retired. All right, so tomorrow I'm starting a brand new theme. I'm going to talk about strategies to protect yourself from cybercrime. Recently, a very scary headline came across and I'm like, oh, look at this. Here we go again. A hacking group called USDOD, U.S. Department of Defense. I don't know. Probably not. Hopefully not. I don't know who these people are. They claim to have stolen 2.7 billion records of personal information from Americans. Okay, there's only 40 million of us. So it looks like all of us were hacked. And then with that, multiple data points based on the 2.7 billion figure. And this leak or stolen personal information includes social security numbers and physical addresses. My goodness. Okay, so next week, we're going to talk about the steps that you can take we can't prevent these big attacks, unfortunately. I wish more was currently being done. There's shockingly little that's being done at the company level, at the government level, to keep Americans' secure data actually secure. But we'll talk about the steps that are within your control, what you can do to keep your information safe to the extent that you can, and to prevent hackers from stealing your data and, as a result, stealing your money. All right. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you are enjoying the podcast, please share the show. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are interested in talking with me one-on-one about your situation, go to my website, truenorthra.com. At the very top is a link that takes you to my calendar. You can schedule a free 15-minute phone call to talk with me about whatever is on your mind regarding your individual situation and your own retirement. Love talking to listeners and happy to schedule a call if you feel like it's something you could use some help with. All right. Thanks for sharing the love and spreading the word. I hope you have a blessed Sunday. My name is Ashley Michike, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.